Hi, my name's Helen. This is my channel, Helen Mary Jo. If you're new here, then welcome. If you're returning, thank you. And if you're a Hellsbell, hello. So you'll see, this is my third video in this outfit because I am quickly going to be making that Turkish tray kebab that I told you about. And lots of you said, oh, when you do it, can you film it? So I thought, well, I am doing it right now, so I will film it right now. So I've got my food processor here, and it doesn't actually say to do this in the recipe, but it worked so well last time. It's what I'm going to do again today. And this is a smaller amount than I made last time. And this is actually just for myself and Rob. So there's 750 kilograms of, this is 5% fat minced beef, Aberdeen Angus minced beef, so it's high quality minced beef. Last time there was a lot of fat came off. It didn't actually matter, but I saw this one, so I thought I'd get this one this time. And so basically I'm just putting all of this into the food processor, and I've got, because this is only 750 grams, the recipe is actually for 2 kilograms. So I'm reducing the quantities down, but kind of also going on the flavours from last time and what we liked. I'm kind of just using those flavours and making it up as I go along, because I know how much we all liked it last time. So half a large onion in there as well, and then just need to get a spoon. It says minced garlic, but I haven't got minced garlic, but I do buy these garlic cloves in oil. These are from Lidl, I think, and they work very well. So I put 5 of those in there. And then I am going to add some baking powder. It says 1 teaspoon. I'm going to keep it at 1 teaspoon, even though there's less mince, because I think that helps to tenderize the meat. And then this paprika that I bought in Costco, sweet paprika. And on the recipe it says, what does it say? 2 tablespoons. So this is teaspoons. I'm going to put in 3 teaspoons. Because this is not hot or anything, so you know it's not anything to kind of worry about as such. And then we've got ground coriander. So the reason I'm using this end is because this one won't fit in, so I am going to put, that's 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of ground coriander in. And then the same with the cumin, however you want to say it. 2 teaspoons of cumin. That was a bit light, so I'll put another one in. And then, because this one is for Rob and I'm not worried about the children, so I'm going to put in 1.5 teaspoons of chilli flakes, because we both like hot food. And that's that. And then some black pepper. Good old grounding of black pepper. If I had any coriander, fresh coriander or fresh parsley, I would add it in, but I don't, so I'm not. And then it's as easy as that. You just blend it. I'm just checking that I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, so I do it in the food processor because I think it helps to tenderize the meat. So I'm just going to put this down and get that started. add a little bit of oil into this because it is lean. That's probably just probably a dessert spoon. How's that looking? Yeah, that's what I wanted it to look like. And then it is ready to put into the tin. Now I've got this baking tray here. I will put the measurements on. It's not, you know, it's not science, it's just kind of guesstimates really. So let's just move that. You can see that okay. And then the beauty of this is, I mean, honestly, it's almost as quick as ordering a kebab because that took minutes, didn't it? How many minutes? Oh, there's Dolly wants to come in. She always wants to come in at the most awkward time. That was handy. What I'm actually going to do, because this mince was at its sell-by date, and so I needed to get it cooked today. But we're not actually going to be eating it. I know you're all thinking, oh my goodness, she's holding it by the blade. Yeah, I am, because that's all mucky. I'm just going to cook it and then put it in the fridge, cooked, because obviously that sort of has changed its kind of makeup, if you like, so it's kind of taking it away from the danger of it being raw meat. And then I'll just, what I did last time with the ones we had left, oh, hair on me there, like we had some, you know, we didn't eat it all in one go. I just actually kind of fried it up in a frying pan on the hob to get it back up because it's thin. I'll show you how it looks in a second. So you just kind of flatten this all out. You do it in the lined tin because you don't want it sticking. You know, this would stick horribly to the metal tin. So this was a fairly good guess actually of the size of tin that I needed. So you just kind of push it along. You only want it probably about 1 centimetre, half an inch thick. So it's just a case of kind of getting that all worked around the pan. So it's fairly even. It's not crucial to have it kind of, you know, it's not like pastry or anything where you need it to be properly even. You just want it so that it cooks evenly. And that's about right there, because it will kind of level itself off to a certain degree as well. But honestly, this is just great. I wish I'd known about this years ago, actually, because the children would have loved it, my kids. So that's what it looks like there. And then all you do is go along about 1.5 inches and take it right through. And I would have actually made this in the air fryer, but Rob's in the utility room and it's a bit of a faff to get to the air fryer, so I just thought I'd stick the oven on. So that's gone right through, and then this one, you just kind of, this is just, I think, to help the cooking process so that it's not, you know, so solid. It's kind of got those indentations. And I'm going to cook this at 180 for 15 minutes, and you can just see if it's cooked. There's nothing else you need to worry about. So I'm going to put this in the oven here. Take those out. 180. And then when it's cooked, I will show you that, and then I'm going to like put that away, and then we'll probably have this for dinner tomorrow night, and I'll show you how I serve it. It makes such a nice change, honestly. And I know everything that's in there, you know, it's all good, healthy stuff. So just thought I'd quickly record this while I could, and you'll see the next bit as of when I do it. So this is the cooked kebab. I mean, it doesn't look much, but I can assure you it was absolutely delicious. And then the way that I serve it, you can see here, because I didn't expect to be feeding it to the wider family, so I cut it up into strips and fried it with some baby sweet corn, peppers, onions, mushrooms. Then we had some rice and peas, and then various salad items, and then the flatbreads, mayonnaise, jalapenos, etc. that the kids absolutely love putting together their meal. So additionally to the kebab recipe, I thought I would quickly go through and do the no knead bread recipe again. That's knead as in K-N-E-A-D, no knead. So I'm kind of, from what I've learned, you know, with different recipes and things, I'm just changing up very slightly to what I've done before, basically. So in this bowl, I've got 475 grams of strong bread flour, and I'm using this one because it's very reliable, never had a problem with it. And into that flour, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I am going to give that a good stir, because you don't want the salt to be kind of coming into contact with the yeast directly, because salt kills yeast. So I'm going to turn the camera down so you can actually see what I'm doing. It's so easy, honestly, anyone could do it. And I'm actually making this because we haven't got any bread, and so hopefully it'll be ready for lunchtime. I'm lucky in as much we've got the underfloor heating on in the garage, because it's quite chilly today, and to help it rise you do need some warmth. So I'll move the camera down and carry on with the recipe. And for this recipe you just use the end of the wooden spoon. So I have stirred the salt well into that flour, and then I have got 365 mils of tepid water, and I've got 1 sachet of dried yeast, which I think is 7 grams. So I'm going to, she says merrily, you'd think that'd be easy to open, wouldn't you? Oh, there's the thing. Add the yeast into there and give that a little stir. And then I'm going to add probably a teaspoon of oil into this, olive oil. It just all helps with the flavours, really. So just stir that through and then add the water. As I say, it could not be easier. And you can see that frothing already. See the bubbles over there? That kind of shows you that the yeast is already working. I'm going to hold it a bit back because it always depends on the flour. You cannot say for certain how much flour or water that any given recipe is going to absorb, because they are all slightly different. This one looks like it's going to absorb all of this water and maybe even more. So just keep working that in. See, that's quite dry, and that is the correct proportions. I'm just going to get a little drop more water. Again, making sure that it's tepid, and just literally probably a teaspoon more. But I would just always hold a little bit back and then see if you had to have any more. Had to have, what is wrong with me today? I've got the wrong teeth in. If you have to add any more, then it's easily done. And that is that. So just going to kind of gently pull that together. I mean, I'm not kneading it, I'm just making sure that it's in a nice ball of dough. I actually got these bowls from Costco, and they are so handy because they have got lids, and you know, you have to cover this. So I'm going to cover this, and what I'm going to do, that when I said some little things that I've learned, is I've got the next size bowl up here, and I'm just going to put some hot water in here just to give it a boost. Not a lot, but just to give it a little boost, to warm that bowl up. Using metal bowls in that respect is quite handy. So that sits nicely in there. And I'm going to pop this on the floor of our downstairs bathroom. And that should take 1.5 to 2 hours to rise. I'll come back and then I will show you. I'm going to actually cook it in the air fryer. So I'll go and do something else now. Pack up some clothes for returning. And I'll come back to you when the dough has risen. So the dough has been proving on the heated bathroom floor for a couple of hours, and you can see how it's risen up there. It's nice and kind of puffy, for want of a better expression. So again, I will move the camera, and I am going to be putting it into this tin that I've lined with baking parchment, and I'm going to be putting it into my Cosori twin fryer, and I am also going to add some ice cubes into the bottom of the air fryer, because apparently that gives it a nice crispy crust. And these are all just little things that I picked up from watching various videos, and I'm just kind of gathering them all up and putting them into one video. So I will move the camera down now, and I will get this ready to put in the tin. So as I say, that's the dough. I'm just going to, I don't want to kind of kill the bubbles, so just scrape it gently away from the side with this dough scraper. And then put some flour onto the worktop quite generously, because we don't want it to stick, and then tip it out. Try and do this so you can see. Obviously you can double up this recipe if you want to make kind of a bigger loaf of bread, but it's just Rob and I, so we don't want it to be huge. And just kind of making sure that's more or less even, and just very, very simply popping it into this lined tin. And that's it. I mean, I could have added seeds to this. I just want a normal plain loaf. I'm just going to pop some of this flour on the top here just to finish it off. And I'm going to pop that into the air fryer. I'm popping these ice cubes into the bottom of the tray, and then I'm going to put the little trivets on top. And I'll show you how I do that. Actually, I'll do that over here. Easiest, isn't it? So this is warm actually, because I just used it at lunchtime. Just going to pop those in there. Pop the 2 trivets in on top, and then put this in. And I'm going to put it on the highest setting for 10 minutes. And then lower it down to 180 for 20 minutes, and that'll probably be enough. I'll check it after a little while and make sure that it's doing okay, and I'll show you the finished product when it is finished. And here's the finished bread. I did it on 10 minutes at 200 and then 15 minutes on 180, but after 5 minutes of the 15 minutes, I took it out of the tin and tipped it over to make sure that the underneath was nice and crispy. because nobody wants a soggy bottom. That's the catchphrase. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Once this is cooled down, I will slice it and I will try and remember before I eat it with some nice butter to show you. Delicious.